Hello friends, this is Promi and welcome back to the Kerbal Commonwealth Space Agency. So just after the last episode, picked up a contract to do a part test on the small radial engine. We've done that already, got Maddia to take care of it. Today I think we're going to construct the Duna probe. We look at our Kerbal alarm clock here, or not Duna, Dres, sorry. I have a Duna probe already. So the Dres window opens up in 21 days. So let's check with mission control first, see if there's any other contracts we will want. And nope, nothing really new here. Oh, one thing I did notice is with the Kerbin Environmental Institute. If you recall at the end of last episode, I noticed that it seemed like the total science that was available from around KSC was lower than it was previous in the episode. And that did seem to be the case. I don't know why it missed the rest of it, but we can collect the rest of the data now from our experiment mast. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so that puts us up at about 110 science. And now we can go to VB and begin constructing our Dres probe. Alright, so we're going to start with the Firefly and Firebug as a base. Going to design basically a souped up version of this. There's no atmosphere on Duna, or on Dres rather, so we're going to get rid of that parachute, put on a bigger solar panel instead. Going to need more fuel for the descent, again, because no atmosphere. Just got to make sure we have enough delta V to descend. And onto the orbiter. Going to need more fuel, more solar panels, more antennas. Got to make sure that we are constantly in contact with Kerbin. So I don't have a larger antenna than this, but we can combine it with some additional antennas. Rearrange all the scientific experiments a bit to compensate. I'm gonna make sure all these antennas are visible from the front. Make sure that they're properly intersecting with something. Now I'm using a larger engine than previously just because this craft is somewhat bigger, so the ant engine probably going to give us a pitiful thrust to weight ratio. So upgraded that. Now I'm putting on 6 solar panels. Not sure about this arrangement. I'm going to go with more symmetrical. That's better. Just figuring out some delta V stuff here. Transfer to Dres. Yeah, okay. The engine I'm going to need to nudge over because once again the spacecraft is somewhat asymmetrical. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now going to need more fuel on our transfer stage, so got rid of the more elegant looking tapered tank just because it doesn't hold as much as these normal cylindrical ones. Going to need that big hydraulic manifold, the big decoupler on here because we had that contract to test it. So I'll do drop tanks. Now those decouplers weigh quite a bit, so right here I'm just figuring out delta V because the readouts don't take into account tanks strapped to the side that you plan on transferring out of. So I just line them up like this to be able to see properly. I think that those giant decouplers are hurting us a little bit. I think I might just do one of the big decouplers, and the other two will be the sort of more standard size. Okay, probably try to bring them in a little bit because I want everything to fit in the fairing fairly easily. Okay, so we can strap our L7 Starfire at the bottom, call the probe the Steel Breeze, and the lander will be the Dusty Descender. Fixing up the staging, and something's not right with Kerbal Engineer's readings here. The ISP, or not ISP, the delta V and thrust to weight ratios are way lower than I would expect them to be for this main stage. Spend a moment just figuring this out. Okay, so I obviously have some sort of bug going on with Kerbal Engineer. So I just figured this out on my own, and I'm going to go with 4 boosters with slightly less fuel in each of them. And with that, I think our rocket is complete. So we still have some time before our launch window opens up. Let's just check Kerbal alarm clock here. So yeah, it won't be for another couple weeks. But I do believe it is time to do an inclination correction burn on the Firefly, headed for Duna, which is here. Alright, let's fly. Okay, here's the Firefly en route. So let's see what our encounter looks like currently. Which is here. Can we focus view on Duna? Okay, yeah, this is better. So let's pin that periapsis. Now, 18 million kilometers is not very good at all. Or 18,000. So let's just make a maneuver node here. See what we can do about this. So let's pin that one. Let's get a bit closer. Hopefully Ike won't cause us problems. Okay, so that was pretty good. Takes us to just about Ike's orbit. We might want to stay there for a while, because we did have some Ike related contracts. Let's see what else we can do about bringing it closer. Can actually get pretty close. Unfortunately, the main craft is not really equipped for aero braking, so we won't be doing any kind of aero capture, just use our engine. It's very fussy. I should get one of those mods that lets me adjust the maneuver nodes more precisely. I think a couple hundred kilometers should be fine. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Maybe, yeah, actually that's quite good. So let's line up with our maneuver node. And how far away is it? 1 hour, 40 minutes. Just about there. Okay, given the distances involved, this is probably good enough. Okay. Let's burn it real slow. A little more. Oop. Bang on, okay. Let's see how we're looking. Quite good. Excellent. So that will be in a few months. So let's head back to Space Center and we will return to our Dres mission. Okay, so let's open up Kerbal Alarm Clock again. Now, can we warp? 24 hours. Maybe do it within 6 hours? Okay, so if we time warp forward, it should automatically pull us out of time warp when the alarm hits. Minute, 2. Okay, I thought it would pull us out 6 hours before, but 2.5 hours now, so should bring our rocket out to the launch pad. Let's close this. Oh, nice early morning launch. The new version of Scatterer has improved on the color banding mornings and nights, especially on the cloud layers, so you get nice red effects. Okay, let's open up our rocket. And we will head to the launch pad. Alright, here we go. Turn on our SAS. We should be good to go. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff. Should be a pretty standard launch for our L7 Starfire. In the future, I want to try to do something about recovering our center stage. Maybe with parachutes or powered, SpaceX style. KSP's parachutes are a little bit overpowered compared to real life, so it does make it easier to do parachute recovery. Okay, we're a little too vertical at this point. We really need to start pitching over more. Alright, boosters are almost out of fuel. Get ready to eject them. There they go. So boosters away. Okay, our apoapsis is above 80, so I'm going to cut the throttle and coast the rest of the way up. Descent profile was still a little bit too vertical. Not exactly optimal, but I think the lifter is a little bit overbuilt for our probe, so we should be alright. I should set up our maneuver node. At 82 and 83, so that's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to jettison the fairings now. And our probe is revealed. Okay, time to ignite the engines again. watch our periapsis up here so that our lifter doesn't become space junk and it to fall back into the atmosphere. Ooh, a little bit too much. Hopefully the decouple will send it back into the atmosphere. Let's decouple. Let's actually switch and see. Nope. Still up here. I guess that'll stay in orbit until we get some sort of cleanup bot to come and deorbit it. This might be something we can do once the claw is unlocked. Oh well. One piece of space junk is probably not gonna harm us at all. So we're not yet quite in the orbit we want to be, so just boost us up a bit. That's probably okay. Okay, what's our window looking like? Okay, all our boosters were recovered. Kerbal alarm clock is... here we go. Okay, so still 2 hours and 44 minutes until the optimal window shows up. So let's see here. Which way is prograde? Okay, so here's Kerbin, and there's Dres. So we want to eject about here, I think. So when is that maneuver in? 14 minutes. So I want to bring it forward till not too far. So that's about right. So bring it forward several orbits to line up as close as we can to our transfer window. Not sure it makes the biggest difference, but this way we can fiddle with our maneuver node for a while anyway and not have to worry about the spacecraft going past the node. Let's see here. So target is Dres. Oh, that doesn't look right. Now we are going to have to fix our inclination somewhere along the way. Elu's orbit is going bananas out here. So let me add a second maneuver here. Okay, that I think is looking better. Bring this so it's on the node. Okay, still not looking right. Let me check the transfer window planner here again. So we want Kerbin to Dres. $80 kilometer orbits and go. So phase, no, not phase angle, ejection angle, 165 to prograde. Right. So prograde is this way. So 90 would be here. 180 would be back. And so this is about right. So maybe we do need to adjust this a bit. Okay, we got it now. So let's focus the view on Dres. So it's pretty wide, but we can correct that once we get to our second node here. Actually, let's just try to... Nope. Okay, I guess that's close enough. We can tweak it afterwards. I guess we should extend our solar panels before we run out of electric charge. Not that we're currently doing anything. Still need to upgrade our facilities to enable full action groups, but I didn't think it was really critical for just deploying the solar panels. Alright, there we go. Might as well get our scientific instruments out as well. Look like a real space probe. And our node's not for another 2 hours and 45 minutes. And get lined up, and then we have a little waiting to do. Not a huge amount of torque on this thing with just those 2 small probe cores, but it's enough. Huh, we're almost at our ejection point, and I just discovered that you can get Kerbal Alarm Clock to actually physically show the ejection angle on the map view, which is pretty nice. Looks like I actually got my maneuver pretty close too, just by eyeballing it. So pretty close to our burn. It's going to be 6 minutes, so it's going to take a little bit of time. I did manage to get some gravity scans while in orbit that were new, so that's good. I was having some weird phantom forces. Turns out I had to disable persistent rotation, even though I had the mod disabled from within KSP, but it was still causing strange issues. So let's find our maneuver node. Looks like I'm supposed to be burning already, so let's hurry up. Start the burn. Should start to move some fuel from our outer tanks into our inner ones. The one with the large decoupler we can't eject until we've left Kerbin's sphere of influence, because the test contract called for it to be ejected in solar orbit. Alright, the burn is about halfway done now. Okay, I'm going to cut the throttle for a moment. I'm having some sort of issue with balance. What has happened here? It looks like it's been sucking mostly out of one tank, and it's causing everything to be out of balance. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty close. Let's see if we can finish this now. Okay, this is behaving a lot better. So I'm just going to finish the burn off. Let's just see if we can get that last little bit. Good enough. Okay. Let's do a final fuel balance. I think because I was continuously moving fuel into the center tank while it was burning, and once it filled all the way up, it was just draining from one of the side tanks to top itself off, so everything got a bit unbalanced. Okay, and I think we'll hold on to these until it's time to do our inclination correction maneuver, and then we can eject them and test that decoupler in orbit of the Sun. Let's take a look. This marker is still on here. I'm not actually sure how to get rid of it now that we're done. Okay, well, let's fix this maneuver because we've lost our encounter. Closest approach separation. Let's see if we can get that better. There we go. Let's focus the view on Dres. We can do this a little more precisely. Okay, that looks good. 1 year and 46 days. Probe is currently in the darkness. Let's just time warp forward until we can see the Sun. There it is. Is there anything we can get out here? Gravity scan in space high over Kerbin's grasslands. Okay, that's good. Let's transmit that. Yeah, I noticed when I was doing gravity scans earlier, while in orbit of Kerbin, that you get separate high and low space readings. So lots of gravity data to be gathered. We're high over the highlands, so we can gather that as well. How's electric charge? Fine. I want to use the small antenna while we're close because it takes less power. Yeah, the big antenna takes almost the entire electric charge pool. And once that transmits, see if anything else comes up. Grassland still. Shores, okay, that one's new. Transmit that. High over the water, it looks like we've gotten, or we can get a little bit of transmission data out of that. Charge looks fine. Oh, that one's going through the big antenna. I guess we're starting to get out of range of the small commutotron now. Let's hope it, oh yeah. See, we're out of power now. So let's refill our electric charge back up. Now what if I try to force it to use this? Let's say it's too far? No, it seems to be working. Okay. Doesn't seem to transmit when you're in time warp. Okay, let's just time warp a little more. Not sure at what point we're considered to no longer be in high space over Kerbin and more just in interplanetary space. Okay, shores we've gotten already. Water. Grasslands. Water. Okay, well, we're pretty far from Kerbin now, and I think we've gotten most of what we can get from high space. So I'm just going to leave the Steel Breeze. It's got quite a ways to go. Yeah, the maneuver node's not for 214 days. So let it do its thing and go back to the Space Center. Alright, it's nighttime here at KSC. Up at 154 science now, so I think there might be some nodes we can possibly get. We won't be looking at those in this episode. That'll be something to visit later. And I think the next episode will be time for the Firebug and Firefly to arrive at Duna. So, until then, this has been Promi. Thanks for watching.